Okay, hello. Thanks for joining us today. This is episode 6 of the chamber episode. We'll reveal what this is called on Monday. We still are up in the air as to what this is, but you're with us for 6 episodes now, so this is what it is. I'm Jennifer. Suzanne is in the
Um,
office.
Hi, everybody.
Just before we came on, we were saying, "Holy cow! Look at how messy it is back there." That
So,
behind that area where Suzanne is, that's my area. So
yeah, here's Jennifer.
that's why it's so messy. And I'm in my kitchen, so I apologize. There's 4 kids running around. At this point in time, I don't know if I can turn the laptop around. My husband decided to cut the lawn. So I
Nice.
apologize if you can hear that, but he said it needed to be done. And I think it's supposed to rain later. It was sprinkling.
Yeah.
So he's out there. I think he'd be mad if I turned the computer around for you to see him. Probably wouldn't be too happy. But we had a seminar this morning with the Amherst Chamber of Commerce and a few other chambers, and it was really, really interesting. It was about redesigning your workspace after COVID, and very, very interesting. Some of the concepts that you may need to now think about, especially if you deal with the public, if your workspace has visitors that come in or customers, or when you're meeting with people, so much to think about. Suzanne, explain with our office how it's divided, how we have a little bit of a barrier.
I think we're in pretty good shape as far as our workstations because, as you can see, we are 6.5 or 6.25 feet apart.
Yeah.
We did measure it. But with our conference table in the middle, we will have to remove some chairs or remove the table, and put chairs in the corner of the room. And I did notice we have to get a new garbage can. I'm so excited.
We do. Yes, we do. So they talked about having some touchless options in your office if available, some hand sanitizing stations, perhaps plexiglass if that is needed, different barriers just to remain safe. And so with our office, we're a visitor center as well as a professional office. So you're right, we do have to make a few modifications, but for the most part, we have a separate entrance for visitors, and another entrance for us. Our restroom is not open to the public, so we're not going to have to think about that, but we do have a divided space between visitors and the office space. So once things reopen and we're allowed to have people in our office and do meetings, we will look at it differently and make sure that we're prepared. So that was very interesting. I was so glad to be able to be a part of that today and work with the other chambers to have that happen. What's going on tonight?
Oh, tonight is our business blender. It starts at 8 o'clock.
So much fun.
It is a lot of fun. We've had a lot of different people who couldn't normally make it to our blenders attend our what are they called, virtual blenders now? Is that what they are? So, and it's been great. And last week we had a couple new people on that said that it was better than a regular blender because there was more personal interaction.
Right.
Hey, hi,
Hannah. No, that's Elle. There's my 12-year-old.
Hi,
Elle. She's making her appearance here. You're right, and it's a nice way for us to share some news, share what's going on with the businesses, see what the needs are, see how each other can help. It's been great. She's telling me she's going outside. It's been a great way to share info. So you do need to pre-register. It isn't a Zoom meeting. We have passcodes and all that other stuff so we don't get Zoom bombed. But pre-register. The info is on our website or on our social media. Pre-register. We'd love to have you. It's been a lot of fun. You can leave whenever you need to. You can sign in whenever you need to. They do start at 8. We generally take care of that business between 8 and 9:15, and then we lose. Like I say every week, we lose complete control of that meeting. So, today we have a special guest with us, and we're excited to have him. We've been having guests all week long, and it's been a fun thing. So today we have Dr. Darryl Tonemah. I'm going to bring him in on our stream. There he is. Dr. Darryl Tonemah is actually a friend of mine. I think I've known him now for 20 years. So I can't be that old, but neither can he, but about 20 years. And he is so much smarter than you or I, Suzanne. He has all these degrees. He's like a doctor, a master's degree, couple bachelor's degrees. He's just a phenomenal person. And he has his business now here in Lewiston in the Opera Hall. We'll have to ask him if it's haunted. There he is. Darryl, thank you for joining us. He's also a musician too. I had this whole thing I was going to say about you, and I can't find it on my desktop now. So I apologize, but thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so
I'll give you a moment to go ahead and tell the other stuff.
Tell us a little bit about what. I'm sorry. I think I just, hang on. I just unplugged my speakers and plugged them right back in. Tell us a little bit about First Nations Telehealth Solutions and what you're doing.
Okay. Well, I'm a psychologist, and I've been working in primarily Native communities, but I've worked in non-Native communities as well. But as Kiowa, Comanche, and Tuscarora, my primary focus is in the Native community. And a few years ago, I was doing a talk to the hospital, a hospital in northern Michigan, on the reservation there, and they asked if I move there, and I said, well, probably not. It'd be a long commute for the kids to go to school, but I had gotten a lot of communities said, "Will you move here?" And I just said, "Well, no, but I can telecommute." Kind of halfway joking, and then I thought, "Well, why don't I do that?" It's on reservations all over the country. It's hard to get access to care. The Tuscaroras here, we're closer to communities, we're closer to towns where you can get care, but the Standing Rock Reservation in North Dakota, or the reservations on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, or the Navajos, there's not, you gotta drive hours to get care. And so I kind of thought, well, telepsychology is a way to get psychiatric and psychological care to these remote nations to kind of decrease disparity. So I started First Nations a couple of years ago, and then as the COVID hit, the laws and things have changed, and so we can reach more people in more communities. Probably, honestly, this is kind of an unprecedented time in history as far as being able to get access to people. Because I've done therapy on the phone with folks. One person was in his car because the kids were being loud in the house. He walked out to his car, sat in his car, and had therapy while he was sitting in his car. And so we're based out of here, but I have psychologists and psychiatrists and social workers and drug and alcohol counselors, even traditional Native healers from all over the country that work with our little organization here. So that's what we do.
That's amazing. So when you are doing this, you're able to pull in some of the other professions that you just spoke with to help the individual. So that's great. It's almost like having a few different doctors or people that you can speak with all at once, and instead of having to seek each one out. So that's an amazing service you're providing. How were you able to get?
That's a really good point, because a lot of times our reservations, remote reservations, like the northern peninsula of Michigan, they have to drive 5 hours south to Detroit or Lansing, and they have to wait months to see somebody. Whereas we can set them up the next day if we do, to get that kind of care. It's who knows what's happening after COVID as far as this stuff goes. It's going to be hard to put the genie back in the bottle as far as access to care. But it'll be, hopefully we can continue at this next break.
So one of the things that has developed out of this is more people that are doing things online, more people that are doing things virtually. Suzanne and I would have never done this 5 weeks ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, we would have said this would have never, ever happened. But we found a need and, we're filling it. And I think that's a great thing for you to be able to do. How do you help those, though, that may not have some type of access to internet or phone? What ways are you reaching out to those? Through libraries, through community buildings? How are you able to connect with some of those that may not be able to?
So the one of the things that I've started doing since this started, since COVID started, has been I'm in a lot of communities, the school is, particularly in small communities, the school is the meeting place. It's the central location where everything happens in a small rural community. So I have had the opportunity to work with superintendents all across the country, and I'm working with schools. We're meeting here on Google Meet or one of the other.
I think we lost him. Oh, there you go.
Are you still there?
No, he's here.
We
He's
are.
here.
It was kind of cool.
Is it raining out?
You stopped like in between like this. You were freeze framed for a while. It looked kind of cool.
Am I moving now?
You're moving. We see you.
Okay.
We see you.
So I'm doing a lot of work in. Are you breaking up? Are you okay?
Yeah, we're okay.
You guys are frozen on mine.
I wonder what it is. I don't know. It could be my kid. I yelled at all my kids to get off my Wi-Fi. So, so with the work in the schools, then that you've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, but so what I'm doing specifically now, like I get to go to a lot of schools, but one of the things that concerns me.
Suzanne,
is he stuck again?
He's stuck again. It must be a cloudy day.
It must be. It's cloudy. Every time it's cloudy outside, this is what happens.
I can see Suzanne.
Oh, okay. There you go. Keep going. I can hear. We can hear you. It's a cloudy day,
I think Jen just left. She went and jumped on the lawnmower.
He's out there. I kind of signaled outside the window. Stop what you're doing. So keep going. Keep going. There must be some little delay here. Keep going, Darryl.
Should I keep talking, Jen? What
do you think? We can hear you. It just must be stopping on.
Now you're both frozen again.
Oh.
See, this is. Okay. Keep talking. Keep talking.
It'll go away. Okay. So one of the things that I'm concerned about. So I specialize in trauma and how it is more of a physiological problem.
Oh, he freezes as soon as it gets good.
Just so you know, when you guys leave is when I say the most profound thing.
I know. I know. It must be this cloudy day. All of a sudden you freeze, and Suzanne and I are like, and what else? What else? There's something. I know there's something good here, and we really need to hear it. But see, that's the beauty of.
Every time you leave, I swing for the fence.
That's the beauty about this type of conversation here. You're on with the internet. Depends on what type of day. Now the sun is coming out, so it depends on where that Wi-Fi hits, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully it'll clear up.
I hope so. I hope so. So one of the things that we're very happy to have you in Lewiston, because you serve so many different communities throughout the United States, but the Tuscarora Nation is just it's literally outside my door, and it's just down the road. So we're so happy that you've based your little office here, and that you are able to serve so many. What would you say? Could you tell our people watching, which right now there's 4 right now, we'll get it on the replay. How can you tell us, how do we deal with stress? What do you tell people when they come to you and they're stressed out? What are some tips that you could give to mitigate that and deal with it?
Okay, you're breaking up a lot, but I'm going to assume that was a question about how we can help with the kind of the underlying stress going on with our community, in ourselves right now. Is that correct?
That is.
Twice. Okay. So one of the things, well, let me emphasize that something, you can have stress without having to be traumatic. Everybody has stress, but you can't have trauma without having stress. So we want to make sure that we mitigate the level of stress. And it doesn't have to be the building falling on us or a house fire or anything like that for it to be traumatic, because a strong chronic underlying current of stress can be cumulative in people. So we want to make sure that we're unplugging that as often as much as we can. And just simple things to normalize, focusing on what we have control over is cognitive technique. I don't have control over a lot, and I can't go camping, I can't go where I want to go, but I have control over how much I play with the kids in the yard. Marty has control about how much he's going to mow today. Mm-hmm. We have control over how much I pray, how much I play basketball. There's a lot I have control over, and focusing on those things, because if I'm focusing on things that I don't have control over, my brain's going to fire and wire to start seeking those things out, and that's going to create more stress in me. So one thing, just a simple thinking tool, is what do I have control over, and working those things. Another thing is having your day as normal as possible. Like get up an hour and put like you're going to do something for the day, even if you're not. Because we want to fire and wire that this is how the day is going to be, and this is my intention for the day. And the brain says, okay, well, I'm going to do that. And also, get out of your sweats, Jen. Because
don't tell anyone.
About 15 years ago, about how prisoners gained weight because they wore the baggy clothes, and they didn't know that they were gaining weight because they didn't get any feedback, peripheral feedback from their body that things were changing clothes-wise, and they actually gained weight without even knowing they were gaining weight because they're wearing baggy clothes all the time. So you put on those jeans you had in high school and walk around the house with those on, so you kind of get some feedback from those.
I'm at the point I better put on my skinny jeans.
They're all bell bottoms and everything.
Oh no!
In efforts to normalize, I lost both of you.
No, you're still there.
I lost both of you at the same time right there.
Yeah, you're there. We see you.
Could you hear me?
We can hear you too.
How come I have such better coverage? Am I breaking up?
Yeah, you are, but you're okay. We can see you. Every once in a while you stop like this every once in a while. I wish I could take a screenshot of it, because I've seen some really great robotic type movements, but that's all right. This is the beauty of it. We can still hear you. So I know you told me to get out of my sweats. Have some type of normalcy that we possibly can. And it is funny. You're right. Creating that normalcy, having some of those good habits that you do and going back to them, that's, normalcy is hard here, but however you can make that happen, we're going to try to. I'm going to have to grab my jeans back out, because these yoga pants on are kind of telling a lie here.
I love my yoga pants.
When this started, Jen, when this first started, Carmen and I were going to bed, like, for that first week, we were going to bed like 1, 2 in the morning.
Oh, geez.
That's college. And I used to go to bed like 10:30, 11 o'clock, but we were going to bed 1, 2 in the morning and waking up at 9, which was totally unheard of. And so finally we talked about it and said, I don't know what's going on here, but we probably need to establish some normalcy again. And so we started kind of making sure we were in bed by 11, just to have a pattern.
Yeah, definitely. That type of, this is normal in my house. Kids going in and out of the house in and out of the door nonstop. Like, this is normal. But or a husband. But that type of pattern of sleeping, yeah, you're right. That first week was a little bit rough. Now, this is 8 weeks in and we've gotten into some sort of a normal routine, but there are days where I feel so incredibly stressed, and focusing on those things that I used to have a pattern or a routine in, that kind of helps pull me out of the little funk, knowing, okay, listen, I need to make sure I get this done and this done, because I know if I do those, the rest of the day feels better. One example is making my bed. If I don't make my bed now, I get stressed out. And something as simple as making my bed, which is a very normal thing to do, makes me feel better throughout the day. So Darryl is also, I know he has a meeting to run to in a little bit, but Darryl is also a very talented musician, and he's played for the Chamber a few different times for us last year at our Harvest Festival, the concert series that have been held in Ransomville. He's played with the Arts Council at some of their events. He's very talented. I do have to say, about 20 years ago, I hopped in the back of a Jeep with him, and we kind of went all over the place, and my mom was ready to kill me, but it was the most fun I've ever had. It was so much fun. So Darryl, tell us a little bit about your music.
I recorded 10 CDs. I'm writing my 11th one now. And the recording process is going to be interesting because we're going to do it remotely. I'll write the songs and play my parts. Loop done at Chris's house. He will do his bass at his house. We're doing all over the place, and then we're sending the studio I usually use in Buffalo to get everything mixed. But one of the tools that I always talk about is find a creative outlet, because it feels good to create that more of the brain live. It keeps it more active, firing, wiring in different directions. No stress. So I thought, well, let me start recording. So I'm finishing my 11th CD now, and we do little concerts on Facebook, Darryl Tonemah Facebook page. I didn't refer to myself in third person right there, but that's the name of the Facebook page, is Darryl Tonemah. And constantly.
Well, I've tuned into the Saturday night, the weekend concerts are a ton of fun, and hopefully everyone can. You're doing one this weekend?
And you know, we do it just so we can give stuff away. We have a bunch of mugs and CDs and T-shirts, and we said, let's just have fun and give a bunch of stuff away. So we have contests, and it's fun for us to do.
Well, we thank you for being a part of this. I know your office is in the historic Opera Hall. Have you heard any strange sounds in the middle of the night there?
I make sure to get out of here before the sun goes down.
Good idea. Everyone we've spoken to who has an office there says the same thing. We appreciate you joining us today. Thank you. This is our 6th episode. We have no idea what we're doing, Darryl. No idea.
Not a clue.
Not a clue. So, but that's what makes it interesting. And, the one person who I think has seen every episode so far is my mom. So hi, Mom. Thanks for being one of our followers and our I think she commented too. So hi, Mom.
Is Carrie Berlinski watching today?
Yeah, we have a few people that chime in. Yeah, my mom just said yes, she is watching, and so yeah, she is there. But we thank you, Darryl, for joining us today, and we appreciate all that you're doing for the Native communities. And I have the website down there below, fntelehealth.com, and I think we're going to see if we can do some of these virtual sessions as a webinar in the future. Maybe we'll have you do something for our membership later on. And
okay. Let me know when you want to be on, and I have all sorts of tools we can use to help people.
I need to save our desktop so I can get these pictures of our freeze frame. I think there was one like this. think one like that, but that's all right. That's good. Thank you so much, Darryl. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you having on. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. We're winging it. So tomorrow we'll be at Apple Grannies with Chuck and Mike. It's Fish Fry Friday. Try saying that 3 times fast. And then we go on to next week. Next week's going to be a treat. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.